Hello everyone and welcome to the second devlog of Paramythic, my first indie game in UE5. Today we'll do some of the game's art to have a rough idea of how it's gonna look and make a simple level to build our mechanics on. But before we do that, I need to make some fixes to the retargeting system I made on the previous devlog. As you can see, my character shoulders are a bit shrugged. This is because I set the root of my IK solver to be the clavicle. To fix this, I will use the alpha values of my IK goals. For this, I added a piece of code that checks every frame if any hand needs IK, and if it does, it lerps the alpha value of this hand to 1. Now, I'll plug the alpha values to the IK rig and... it seems to work fine. Alright, now it's time to start making the new test level. But before we do that, shout out to Only Hardcore. He is my first subscriber. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to make a landscape. After we created it, we need to make a material. I have already made one for another project in UE4, so we'll use that. I made 3 layers: grass, sand and snow. For the snow, I used tessellation, which is a technique that dynamically deforms the landscape. Unfortunately, UE5 doesn't support tessellation. It uses a method called virtual height field. I want the level to be very simple, so we'll block it out with some rocks. It is actually a single rock that we'll place in different rotations and sizes to make it look different. We will place some water and a waterfall. And now it's time to make the grass. I want the grass to be fully interactive. I made a grass patch model in Blender and I vertex painted it. Vertex painting is a method of assigning colors to the vertices of a model. I painted the bottom of the grass black and the top white. The white parts are gonna be affected by the wind and other objects, whereas the black ones are not. After I imported it to the engine, I made a material using runtime virtual textures. This, very simplified, means that I take the color of the landscape and pass it onto the grass. But our scene looks a bit empty, so I think it's time to make the trees. To make the trees, I use a program called TreeIt. It is free and very easy to use. The good thing about this program is that it is very fast to make multiple variations of the same tree only by changing a few settings. So now I'm gonna make some trees. Okay, now that we have our trees, we'll make one material for the leaves and one for the trunk. Using the same technique as the grass, I'll make them affected by the wind. Okay, the scene is almost ready. I will now make a few adjustments and call it a day. If I had time, I could work on this level for hours, but I'll end this devlog right here. Do you like the art style I'm going for? Let me know in the comments and I will see you all in the next one.